Most practice owners think hiring a practice manager solves all their problems, but that's a big mistake. Hiring is step one. Training is what determines whether they increase your profitability or just collect a paycheck. If you don't train your practice manager correctly, one of two things are going to happen. They either become reactive and get overwhelmed quickly, which can lead to quitting, or they operate without clear accountability. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to train your office manager so they can drive performance, protect your margins, and actually take work off your plate. So let's get into it. Number one, start with clear expectations in training, not tasks. The first mistake most owners make when training a practice manager, if they train the practice manager at all, is this. They train them on tasks, not outcomes. They show them how to run payroll, how to schedule staff, how to answer operational questions, but they never define what success in the role actually looks like. Before you start training your practice manager, you need to clearly define things like revenue targets, payroll percentage targets, which KPIs they're responsible for looking at, staff performance standards, and what reporting they need to bring to you. Because if a practice manager doesn't even know what success looks like, they'll default to the easiest thing to do, which is just staying busy. But busy managers doesn't necessarily build profitable practices. Clear expectations are what prevent operational drift. Number two, train them on numbers first. A practice manager who doesn't understand the numbers is really just a supervisor, and they may not be the best person for the position. If you actually want them to help you run the business, then they need to understand the financial side of the practice. That means things like monthly revenue trends, payroll as a percentage of the revenue, your major overhead categories, your cost of goods if you're a cash pay practice, revenue per provider, and your no-show rates. Now you need to sit down with the new practice manager and walk through your numbers. You show them what your P&L statement looks like and explain how to view it. Explain what your KPIs are and how to get those numbers, and what healthy practices actually look like. Then assign them ownership to tracking those metrics. And if you don't have a good system in place for tracking these numbers, check out our KPI Practice Intelligence dashboard. It takes less than 5 minutes to enter your numbers. Then it provides you with an easy-to-understand dashboard, along with a short summary of what's working, what to keep an eye on, and what you need to change. To learn more about this, you can click the link in the description. Because if you don't own your numbers, you can't improve them. Number three, give them structured leadership authority. A lot of practice managers fail for one simple reason. The owner never fully transfers authority. If staff still sees you as the person making all the decisions, then the manager can't actually lead. So you need to clearly communicate to the team that your practice manager has the authority to make certain decisions, enforce policies, conduct performance reviews, and handle staff conflicts. But authority also needs structure. So privately align with your practice manager on things like when to escalate the issue to you, when they should be making decisions themselves, and what still requires your approval. Because when authority is undefined, it creates chaos in a practice. Number four, train them in systems, not firefighting. Meaning, reactive managers will burn out. Proactive managers build systems. A strong practice manager isn't just solving problems as they come up. They prevent them from happening again. So you need to train them to identify repeat problems, build SOPs around those problems, track recurring issues, and review key metrics every week. You should also have weekly leadership meetings, but that meeting shouldn't be about whatever crisis happened that day or the day before. You need to focus on things like practice metrics, staff performance, operational bottlenecks, and improvement plans. Because when your manager learns to think in systems instead of emergencies, the entire practice is going to run smoother. Number five, develop their leadership skills intentionally. One mistake a lot of owners make is assuming that the practice manager already knows how to lead. But leadership's a skill, and it needs to be developed internally. That means coaching them on things like how to conduct difficult conversations, how to give correct feedback, how to run effective team meetings, and how to set clear performance expectations. Sometimes it even helps to role-play difficult situations ahead of time, because leadership ability doesn't happen accidentally. It develops through coaching, feedback, and practice. Number six, measure their impact. Once training is complete, you need to measure their impact. Ask yourself a few simple questions. Has payroll improved? Are your KPIs being tracked consistently and correctly? Is your staff accountability stronger? Are you less involved in the day-to-day operations? Because if none of those things are improving, something needs to change. Either your training needs to be revisited, or they may not be the right person for the job. A properly trained practice manager should create measurable change in the practice. Training a practice manager is what turns potential into performance. But none of that works if you hire the wrong person to begin with. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, I'm not sure I have the right person in place, the first step isn't more training. It's making sure you hired correctly. We created another video that breaks down exactly how to hire the right practice manager, what skills to look for, and what red flags to avoid, and how to protect your profitability from the start. So make sure you watch that video next, because the right hire combined with the right training is exactly what gives you leverage inside your practice.